As we come to the end of this year, we look back and it was a year full of challenges, a year full of pain, a year full of a lot of uncertainties. And as we look towards the coming of the new year, we find that the challenges have not gone away. The pandemic still exists. New variants come. People are getting hurt. People are dying. People are fighting whether to take the vaccine or not the vaccine. The challenges are immensely. And, like I've always said throughout all of my videos is in life, bad decisions and bad choices and bad consequences will come your way. And at the same time, bad things will happen. We might get that horrible news, or, we might just have that challenge that it seems insurmountable at that time. Things will happen. That is life. But the truth of the matter is that it doesn't matter whether these things happen or not, because they will. What matters is how we face them, how we overcome them. How do we look at those situations in our life that look insurmountable and tell ourselves that, nothing is insurmountable once we are alive. And above all, for those of us that have faith and those that believe in God, we realize that, there's a God who cares. But, going back to a story that I told a long time ago, and it's about this poor beggar that comes into a shoe store. And he tells the shoe cobbler, he says, "Sir, can you please fix my sandals?" The shoe repair person looks at him and says, "Look, I'm tired of people begging me. I'm not going to fix your sandals, and you don't have no money to give me." He says, "But you're wrong. I can give you anything you want. I can give you $1 million. Will that solve your problems?" The cobbler looks at him and says, "Yes, that will solve all of my problems." He says, "Well, what I would like in exchange is for you to give me your hands." The cobbler looks at him and says, "Are you crazy? If I give you my hands, what good is $1 million if I can't touch?" He said, "But what if I can give you $10 million? He said, "Well, $10 million solves a lot of more problems." He said, "But then I want you to give me your hearing." He said, "Are you out of your mind? If you give me $10 million and you take away my hands and my hearing, what do I have? What is the sense of living?" The beggar looks at him and says, "I can give you $1 billion, but I want your sight." He says, "Are you nuts? Even for $1 billion, I will not give you my sight. What good is life? What good is all those billions if I can't see what I want to buy? If I can't see what I desire? And then I cannot hear and I cannot touch it." The beggar looks at him and says, "You see, you are already a billionaire. You just do not realize it." The moral of the story is that we are all billionaires. We have sight, we have touch, we have taste, we have smell. And amazingly, that so many people do not have that. And as we look throughout life, we need to be focused on the things that we have versus the things we don't have. Even the fact that if we lose it all and we struggle, and even if we are hungry, because I can tell you what it is to be hungry, but yet we are alive and have the ability to go out and somehow secure food, work, even if it means working at a McDonald's, even if it means working as a garbage man, whatever it takes, we have that ability because we have something that is more valuable than many, many things that life has to offer, and that is freedom. There's so many men and women in prison this year that I know what it felt to see my mom and dad come to visit me during Christmas and New Year's and leave the visiting room crying. And I, a person that people thought I had ice running through my veins, would go back to my bunk and I would just cry and weep. And then I come to realize that all my millions of dollars I would give them. I would give them for just the ability to be able to be free and to have a dinner with my mom and dad and to give them a hug and a kiss in freedom. But no, 10 of those Christmases, 10 of those New Year's, I had to go back to my bunk. So if you have freedom today, if you have sight, touch, and if you can see, feel, smell, and eat, be thankful for that. And I promise you, if you have faith and we work hard, we can reinvent ourselves. Every choice we make this coming year will be part of our life. We make choices that have become part of our story. But the beauty about life is that if we are still alive, we have the ability to make different choices and to change the outcome of our life. So as this new year comes, let us not focus on what we don't have. Let us not focus on what we lost. Let us focus on the many blessings that we do have. And this life is transitory. We are here today and gone tomorrow. I remember being 21 on top of the world and then being 65, about to be 66 this coming year. So, years passed, and then I'll remember as time goes back when I'm 85, if I am reached to 85, when I was 65. And then one day I will leave this earth. And then when I leave this earth, there's nothing else I can do about my story. By then, my story will be complete. So the question that I'll have to live with is, as I lay in my dying bed, as Steve Jobs laid there and realized that all the millions he had could not buy him one extra day. Then I'll realize and I'll ask myself, would I smile if I look back on the story of my life? Or would I cry? Because at that given moment in time, you don't have another opportunity to rewrite your story. Your story is set and done. So as we look forward this coming year, let's look at it and let's build a different mindset. Let's look at a mindset that does not tell you that you can't, but that tells you, how can I? Let's look at a mindset that has no fear. Because fear is only when you recognize the weaknesses in your life. But strength is when you recognize that totally those fears can be overcome. And as things become very, very difficult, tell yourself, this too shall pass. Because everything in life passes. See, the calendar, the clock does not stop. We are already entering 2022. Think about it. It was 2020 when we faced a horrific pandemic and we were locked down. And looking back at the lockdown, think about this. For me, it meant nothing because I had Netflix, I had movies, I had my family, I had food, I could walk outside. And then it just gave me the opportunity to be close to my children that are so busy in their lives with their studies, their school, their activities. So, the pandemic to me was amazing, but so many people were so petrified of it. And I wonder why. Yes, I know, and I'm not ignoring those that were petrified because they couldn't work and didn't know how they were going to eat next, or how they were going to be able to educate their children, or how they were going to be able to see a loved one that went to a hospital and they couldn't. I don't know. I don't ignore any of that. I'm just saying that what I focused on was not in the things that were bad. I did not ignore them, but I didn't focus on them. I focused on the good I had, that I could spend some quality time in the horrifically busy world with my children, with my wife, build upon our relationships. So see, in life is not what we see that matters. It's through what lenses we see it. And as we see it, through what decisions we make on how we're going to focus and what are we going to do with what we see. So my dear brothers and sisters, as this year comes to an end and we say goodbye to 2021, let's face 2022 with a strong mindset. Let's build that what I call the ultimate narco mindset. Check out my academy, www.NarcoMindset Academy. Check it out, see what you think of it. Because I built it to help people build that mindset. Because see, in life, we don't have poor people. Yes, we might have people that don't have any money. But what we have abundantly is poor mindsets. Poor mindsets. Doesn't matter what you got. If you have a negative mindset, you're in misery. It doesn't matter how many millions you make. I know. I'm not telling you what I read in a book. I tell you what I lived. And you're not content with yourself and you don't know what the purpose for your life is. It doesn't matter. All the millions will not give you a purpose. See, all the millions will not give you joy. If you're looking to make $1 million or buy that fancy house or that fancy car or that fancy watch or whatever it is that you yearn for, if you think that that is what's going to give you joy in your life, I'm here to tell you it will not. You need to find joy within yourself. For me, as a person that loves Jesus, I find joy in serving Him. I find joy in loving my family. I find joy in spending quality time with my children and my wife. I don't find joy in the things that I have because I lost them. So I know that what you have now will go tomorrow. But what you have deep down inside your heart and the love you have for your family and that quality time you spend this coming year with your children and the impact you will make in their lives will be part of an amazing story. I am excited and I believe that I wish and all my prayers are that you build that mindset that would help you to overcome those obstacles and those horrible situations that will come our way. And I know this new year is going to be a prosperous new year. You know why? Because we get to live another day. So God bless you. Have a happy new year and the Lord be with you.